Hello, welcome to my channel, Oracle Intuitions. My name's Catherine, and this is your forecast for May 2020. In this reading, we're going to be looking into the current energies going into May, such as what you're allowing to come through and what energies you may be blocking, as well as how to get the most out of this month ahead. We're also going to be looking into your surrounding relationships, and we're going to be closing the reading off with messages from Spirit regarding your current journey. Just so you know, guys, I'm an intuitive reader, which means that while I do read traditional tarot, I also look into the energies that I feel are here as I'm performing my readings. I'm very honest and I'm very blunt, and I'm just going to remind you that because my readings are for the collective, not all readings will resonate with everyone. If you do enjoy this reading, however, and you'd like a more in-depth personal reading, please see the link to my website below. I've also listed all the cards used in this reading, as well as a schedule of all of the readings that I'm going to be doing on my channel. If you would like to be alerted every time I post a new reading, please click subscribe and hit the notification bell. And now let's begin. Hello, Cancer. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be doing your reading for the month of May. So we're going to start off looking into what energies you are bringing into the month of May, what energies you're allowing, what energies you may be possibly blocking, and what energies we're going to, what will help you throughout the month of May is basically what I'm trying to say. So we're going to be starting with this first. And we're going to be using the Heal Yourself Oracle cards, and we're going to be clarifying with some tarot. Then we're going to be looking into your current surrounding relationships or possible energies that are coming through, and finishing it off with some messages from Spirit Guide. Take off your mask. Sadness. This card has come up a couple of times with different readings already so far. Procrastination, discover your life purpose, soulmate. All right, let's take a look. We're going to clarify this with some tarot cards, but just taking a look really quickly. I feel that for some of you, and remember, this isn't going to resonate with everybody, but I feel that for some of you, Cancer, you have been seeking. You've been seeking that soulmate relationship. And maybe some of you are already in that soulmate relationship. But I'm feeling also here too is that what I'm really getting, and I feel like this is going to resonate more with the Cancer people that are possibly single and maybe searching. But if this resonates with you and you're in a committed relationship, I hope that there's, some message or meaning in here for you as well. But what I'm really feeling is that for some of you, I'm really getting, there's been some procrastination as far as discovering or really looking into. So I feel like we're going to start off with like career or possible, future endeavors is what I'm getting. So we are getting this discover your life purpose. Now, the first thing that's coming through is I feel like some of you have been sort of caught into this cycle of a little bit of this sadness. All right. And you're looking at, what is it that I want to do? Are you procrastinating about moving forward? Are you distracting yourself with other things in order to, delay this, feeling of moving forward into the future with something that is going to make you truly happy? I feel that some of you have been really delaying or putting off what it is that you need to do. Okay. Discover your life purpose. I feel like some of you already know, what it is that you want to do. You know what is going to make you happy. You may have been thinking about a particular project, maybe a particular career, maybe a different path of what it is that you want to do. It's almost like you've got it planned. This is what I'm seeing. It's like you've got it planned in your head, but you're not taking the steps to 100% complete it. There's a lot of procrastination in there. And I feel that every time you procrastinate, you then go into the cycle of this sadness. Okay, and again, it brings you around and around and around. And it feels like for me, what I'm getting for some of you is it's time to take that step forward. It's also saying here to take off your mask, okay? I'm getting two things with the take off your mask. I feel that some of you are really reacting to people on a completely surface level instead of diving in deep. But I'm also getting here is that this take off your masks relates to discovering this life purpose. It's almost as though you're scared to take that step forward, or you're scared of what people may say or what people might think, or that you're getting, I want to say, almost like a peer pressure feeling with inside of you. Like, if I go ahead and do this, what is going to be the reaction of my family or my friends? What is going to be the reaction of different people? Are they going to accept me? Are they going to see me for who I am? And it's saying here, it's time to take off your mask and just stop procrastinating and go for it. This is what I'm getting. I'm also getting that take off your mask in regards to a relationship. So sometimes what happens, and I sometimes feel like with Cancer, you feel like whether you're in a committed relationship or maybe you're possibly looking into a relationship that is, you know, that you're seeing yourself in the future with, okay? So for those of you in a committed relationship, because I do feel that there are some of you watching that are in a committed relationship, I feel like there's been some tension within the relationship. This is what I'm getting. And I'm also receiving here that it might be time for you to take off of your mask. Really allow yourself. Here's what I'm getting for many of you Cancers. I feel like the person that you're with, this is a strong relationship, but I'm also feeling that at times you may hold yourself back. I feel like at times you sort of quiet yourself. You're not allowing yourselves to speak fully. I'm also getting that sometimes your partners feel like they can't speak fully, that they're not allowed to take off their mask around you. Okay, so this is an energy you may want to take a look into going into the month of May. But for those of you that are single, what I am getting is that there is this possibility of this soulmate relationship. I feel like for some of you, there is this person that you felt this deep connection with. But it's almost as though you're relating to them on this, like, you know, top of the water sort of feeling. It's like you need to delve into you to figure out who you are. It's time for you to take off your mask first before you can really dive into this relationship with this person. What I'm getting here is that for some of you, you may be interacting with them, but it's almost like they're craving more. They're craving more from you, Cancer. Like, I feel like they really want to get to know you. And I feel like for some of you, you're scared to do this because in the past, when you've allowed that to happen, you have maybe, you know, met up with blocks within, you know, the person that you're trying to relate to, and that element of sadness has come in. But, you know, I'm also feeling too is that they were just lessons. They were just lessons to learn. It was supposed to help you go into deeper within yourself, but you may have put up some barriers in order to prevent, you know, more pain. You guys, you feel so deeply on an emotional level, and sometimes, you know, when we tend to get hurt, sometimes we're not looking at some of the lessons that we were supposed to learn from those situations, but instead we may possibly just look at the sadness from those situations. That's, you know, that's what I'm receiving. So what we're going to do is we're going to clarify these with some tarot and see what's coming through. And remember, like, I feel this is just advice for the month of May. I feel like it's time for you to take off your mask, start really allowing the past to go, releasing that sadness from, you know, being scared or being, I feel like so many of you are so close to recognizing, or maybe you've already, you know, started the footwork on that new job, new career, maybe advancement within something, but you've been holding yourself back. That procrastination is really coming in. So let's see what the tarot has to say in regards to this. Okay. So I feel like for some of you, it's time to take charge. You know, that Emperor card is coming in. I feel like there's a lot of you that have been, so the Emperor, when he comes in, he's strong, he's determined, he knows what he wants, he knows where, you know, where he wants to go, he takes charge of things. That Two of Coins energy, though, that's a little passive. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's a little bit of a passive. It's like, you know, I don't know, or can I do it? Do I have, you know, maybe I'm juggling a lot of things. Maybe I'm juggling a lot of decisions. A lot of things are in my mind. That Fantasy card, that Seven of Cups energy, you know, not knowing exactly what it is that you want. But I do feel it's not that you don't know what it is that you want. You do want it, but it's like you're distracting yourself. That just procrastination card is, you know, coming through. And, well, if I focus on this, I don't need to focus on that. You know, it's kind of like, you know, when you have an important something to finish and, you know, you're supposed to get it done, but you're finding other things to distract yourself with. That's what I keep getting with you right now, Cancer. So I'm not sure whether this is, I do feel like this is more career though, rather than relationship at this point. This is what this is talking about in here. But I do feel that in here there is this internal battle, and I'm getting this Five of Wands energy that's coming through with the Sadness card. And what I'm really getting here is it feels like you battle inside of yourself on an emotional level all the time. It's like, do I, don't I, do I, don't I, maybe I don't want that, you know, maybe I do want that, I do, you know, and it just feels like your head is, you know, your emotions are constantly going around in circles, and it feels like it's time to just stop and allow yourself to be grounded, because once you take off that mask, this Ace of Pentacles energy can come through. This Ace of Pentacles, which is grounding and, you know, looking forward in regards to advancing, you know, going forward with that life purpose card, like finding what it is that you are really going to truly enjoy, what it is that you truly want, allowing yourself to let go of that procrastination. And I feel like for some of you too, this does have to do with the soulmate card. It does feel like with this High Priestess card coming in. So this is about internal. Okay, these are messages. That High Priestess is, you know, it feels like once you take off that mask, things are going to be revealed, things that are so strong and deep within you. But you do, again, you know, that Five of Wands energy is coming through with that Nine of Swords. So the Nine of Swords, I kind of, when I see this card, it can be, I mean, it depends on how you look at it, okay? When I see this card, sometimes it can be a good thing, because it's not really external issues that are poking at you, okay? It is a more emotional and mental issues that are coming through. Sometimes feelings of being paranoid, sometimes feelings of being scared, sometimes just feelings of, you know, feeling like you're just overwhelmed. But the good thing about the Nine of Swords is you can release it. Okay, is what it's being told. Now it's coming in with that Five of Wands energy, so I feel like this is very much, again, that internal battle within yourself is what I keep getting. You've got the Lovers card. I'm also feeling, not only does this have to do with you finding that life purpose, that job or career, whatever it is that you're seeking, I'm also getting that this is having to do with relationships. So I feel in the past, again, you know, you may have been disappointed with past relationships before, and it feels like, because it feels like even though you're trying, for some of you, it feels like you're really trying to dig into that emotional, deep depth part of yourselves. You haven't completely, fully explored it yet. It's almost as though you're saying what is needed, what you feel like others could want to hear. okay? Or you're feeling like, if I say it this way, that I'll get more, I don't want to say recognition, that's not the right word, but it's almost like, I want to say it's almost like cliche to some degree. It's not really, but it can be to some degree, is that, once you take off your mask and now really allow those deep embedded emotions to come through, I feel it's going to help your relationships moving forward. It feels as though things just suddenly start changing, things suddenly start opening. Instead of looking at things from a fantasy point of view and procrastinating on moving forward, it's allowing you to really dig in and go, this makes me feel good. This is what I really want. This is what I really want in a person. This is the person that I really want. And I also feel this is what I want in my life, like as far as moving forward, or the career, job, or whatever it is. It's like a new life path. And this is what I keep getting. And I do feel I'm also receiving here a little bit of the sadness is because of the fact that you've been feeling these feelings for a while now, but that step forward just hasn't come through at this point. And I feel like this is something to focus on for the month of May, okay? And I feel like really take that time to look inside of yourself. If you find yourself getting to a point of distraction where you're sitting there and you're going, okay, I really need to do this, but I need to clean my garage, or I need to, go do this, or look at, I have to clean out my pots and pans, whatever the heck it is. I feel like you need to recognize that, and you need to put that aside, and you need to stop and go, why am I distracting myself? What am I scared of seeing? What am I trying to hide behind that mask? And that mask doesn't need to be, on the physical part. It can be on the, taking down the barriers around your heart, around your chakras, around your soul, and really digging in and figuring out, why are you avoiding it? Why are you avoiding it? Why are you procrastinating on looking deeper? Because I feel that once you actually do so and you take that step forward, that's when things can really start flowing. And I feel like with that King of Swords energy coming through, as well as the Chariot, once you do so, not only are those spiritual downloads going to come, it's like that sense of strength. It's like you have to be, I feel like you might need to, put up walls or barriers regarding other things, not your emotional self or your physical self, but I mean around things that are going to be the distraction. You've got to be strong. And then everything just starts flowing. It's like it just starts charging ahead. It starts really moving. That Four of Pentacles is coming in. Allow yourself to let go of whatever it is that you're hanging on to. Allow yourself to let go of those past fears, that sadness, those fears that are continuously bringing those sadness. Here's that Knight of Coins. So I love this card. This is probably one of my favorite cards, to be honest, because when the Knight of Coins comes in, it is progress. Okay, so some of you may have already gone through this into, from April going into May. I feel like some of you are going to be continuing this through May. But what I'm getting here with this Knight of Coins, he's very slow, but he's meticulous, and, he moves forward in a sense of, this is what I truly want. So he makes the progress, he advances his progress with each time, with each step, and he allows each step to sort of embody what it is that he is either trying to recognize or he's trying to release. Okay, and then he takes that next step forward. For me, sometimes when this card comes up in regards to relationships, for instance, and this could also have to do with that soulmate card, it is saying that the progress is happening, okay? But you can't go rushing into it, So sometimes if you feel maybe perhaps you're being overwhelming, or maybe somebody else is being overwhelming, or maybe there's a bit of a pushing, and moving forward, or maybe you're even trying to delay, or being scared that things aren't going to happen. Remember that each step is a step in, towards progress. And it doesn't need to rush, because when you rush something, you're not going to fully embrace the lesson behind it. But when you take your time and you really look at each step in a methodical, logical, emotional way, and allow yourself to embody all of it, that's where you're really going to make that progress. And that's what I'm feeling. And once that progress starts happening, things are going to start really flowing and moving forward. And this is where you're going to get that sense of satisfaction. And I do feel for you, Cancer, that it's not only has to do with relationships, but I do feel that it does have to do with your career or moving forward into the future in some sort of, some sort of material way, whether it's job, career, hobby, whatever it is. But I feel like it's something to do with material. So this is what I'm getting, just to open up your reading. At the beginning, we're going to look into your current and surrounding relationships. So just give me 1 second. I'm just putting these cards away. Okay. So we're going to look into relationships. We're going to start off with the romance angel cards. We're going to do some clarifying with tarot. Okay. All right, Cancers. Let's take a look. If people are wondering why I do sometimes turn the cards upright if they come up reverse, it's just because I usually don't read reverse. I always feel that if a card is supposed to come through, it will find its way to come through in an upright position. And that's just the way I read. Remember that I did put all the links down below for all the decks that I'm using. Look for Cancer. Make the effort. There we go. Take off the mask. Make the effort. Reconciliation. Okay. Love that. Love it. Free yourself. Okay. So, it's funny, Cancers, because these are very let go of control issues. There we go. Take off that mask. And very soon. Okay. I apologize if you can't really see the cards because of the light that's flowing in. My apologies for that. But okay. Here we go. So, Cancers. This is what I'm getting. When we are wearing a mask, sometimes that mask is not only to, keep our emotions or from people from seeing us, but they do have a sense of control. When we're wearing a mask, we're not allowing, we're controlling who sees us and who sees us in our genuine self. It also allows us to control who, we let in, what we allow, what we block. And this is what I'm getting right off the bat in regards to control issues. It's saying, allow this situation to unfold naturally. Don't push it. And I feel like that soulmate card coming through, I feel like this is indicative of that soulmate card as well. It's also saying free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. So here's the thing, is sometimes when we lose the mask, even though we're losing that control that we're trying to keep in place so that we're not showing too much emotion, or we're not showing, too much of ourselves, or when we're deciding, who can see our true selves, taking off the mask, it's just so freeing. It's freeing. It allows you to just be you, Screw everybody else. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter if they don't like who your authentic self is. it's saying free yourself, because the people that don't like you at your authentic self shouldn't be in your life, is what it's saying here. And I feel that by doing this, by allowing people, be a goof, be happy, be whatever it is that you want to be, show them that person of who you truly are. But it's also saying don't push the situation. Okay, you can't make people like you no matter what we do. We can't, it's not about that. It's just somebody liking you for you, somebody showing you that genuine love because of who you are. It's also saying here, as it is showing somebody from your past is returning to your life. So Cancers, if you already know who this person is, and now if you are in a relationship already, sometimes that reconciliation can mean renewing the energy within your current relationship. Okay, it doesn't mean that somebody from your past is actually returning. This could be the old self of somebody, that person that you had fallen in love with, their true self starting to come forward again. Or maybe, while you're in that relationship, you guys weren't, it's like, I thought I married this person, or I thought I was with this person, but now, I'm seeing a different side of them. That reconciliation, I feel for some of you, is going to be that person starting to come back to who it was that you originally fell in love with. Or it could also be you that is, taking off that mask and allowing them to see you for who you are. Maybe there's, some sort of discord within the relationship, but I feel a renewal within the relationship. Maybe it's you that needs to, because of taking off that mask, you're coming forward and allowing them to see you again, or it could be them. But I'm also feeling for single people exactly this, that somebody from your past is returning to your life. Now, sometimes people come in because there's a lesson that we haven't 100% learned yet. Okay, and this person might be the one that is, telling you, or is going to help you with that taking off your mask, or helping to free yourself from a past relationship, maybe something that you were hanging on to, that you brought into, other relationships, that it's time to free yourself from. But I'm also getting here is that for many of you, there might be literally somebody from your past returning to your life, and it is saying here, make the effort. So now, I feel like taking off that mask is going to help your judgment. This is really what I'm getting. I feel like taking off that mask and allowing your authentic self to shine is going to make that judgment moving forward. It's saying make that effort. So this could be making that effort in regards to bringing this person closer into your life. But again, don't control them. Just allow it to flow naturally. Allow it to unfold the way it's supposed to unfold. But it is also saying taking, it's worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So sometimes we try to rush something, especially when it comes to, love. We try to rush it. We want it to go a certain way. We try to take control of it. It's saying, just take a step back. Take a step back, Cancer. Let it unfold the way it's supposed to unfold. And for those of you that are in committed relationships, I feel the same thing. But it's going to start off either way with allowing yourself to free yourself. Okay, taking off that mask. And clearly decide what you want so that it can come to you. Okay, it's saying very soon. Clearly decide what it is that you want. So, if we don't make the decision of what it is that we want within our lives, how is the universe supposed to respond? Sometimes when we're making, when we're saying prayers, or when we're asking for something, or maybe it's things that we're trying to think about within our, future existence, like things that we want, we'll say, well, I want this, but not that, and this, well, maybe not that. Well, maybe he can be like that, or maybe she can be like that, or, it's like this indecision. Okay, it's like this indecision, and then the universe is going, okay, when you decide, you just let me know. And that's what they're asking you to do. Clearly decide what it is that you want so it can come to you, but make it clear. Don't make it wishy-washy. Take off that mask, free yourself, and be strong in what it is that you want moving forward. Okay, so The Seven of Cups energy is coming in. This Page of Cups energy is coming in. The Three of Cups, the Magician. Okay, I love these cards. Oh, sorry, I'm hitting my camera here. All right, so when we look at make the effort, this really is, you know, here's the thing too, is that when we take off our masks, we're also allowing ourselves to balance, okay? So the Temperance card is very much about, I kind of love this card too, and it's talking about reconciliation. Sometimes when I see the Temperance card, to me, it reminds me of that soul connection. Okay, that soul, like that soulmate that we had seen, you know, at the beginning there, that soulmate card showing up. This Temperance card, this reminds me of that soulmate card. And I'm feeling here, in this person is coming forward, or you're, you know, whether they come forward physically, or maybe it's more a spiritual or a mental state, that's okay too. But I feel like them coming forward in some way in order to help you to heal, in order to help you release yourself. And with the Three of Cups, this shows like working and, you know, working together in order to help get to where you want to go. It's time to kind of, you know, it's time to come out of fantasy land. So the Seven of Cups energy is coming through, and this really talks about, you know, not making a choice. Okay, and that's where it's talking about right here. Clearly decide what you want so it can come to you. But it can't do that if your mind is like, well, maybe this, maybe that, maybe I'll do this, and maybe I'll do that, and maybe this is the person, maybe the blah, 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 maybe. Or, you know, you need to decide. Be clear in what it is that you want moving forward. And once you do so, you're also going to receive, you've got this Page of Cups here. So for me, when I'm seeing this Page of Cups, basically what it's telling me is it's ready, it's time. This is time to release those emotions that you've been holding on to. Allow that mask to fall away. Allow yourselves to form and create who it is that you want to be in the future. You know, like a little kid, hey, when I grow up, what do I want to be? What relationship do I want? What career, what job is it that I want? Where do I want to be within my emotional, physical, spiritual self? And with this Magician, he has all the tools in front of him. All he has to do is create it. But in order to create it, he's going to have to dig in deep into himself, okay? You can't be a magician or a wizard or a witch, or, you know, somebody with like those powers of manifestation when you're sitting on a surface level. You have to dive in deep, you know, in order to make the energy flow, because energy doesn't flow from a surface level. Energy flows from, you know, it's like in order to make a tidal wave, you know, you have some sort of disruption underneath on the sea's bottom, right? On the bottom of the sea. In order to make the volcano erupt, you know, it comes from deep within the earth, and that's what it is that you need. So it's time for you, Cancers, to, you know, to allow yourself to do that. Dig in deep and see where exactly it is that you want to be. Are you going to be happy with just staying on the surface, or do you want to free yourself and really, really plunge in to the future? So observe, nurture yourself. Okay, now here's the thing, is sometimes when we you know, dig in, we're scared because we're scared that we're going to be hit with that sadness. We're feeling like, you know, and this sadness already came up, right, in the first round there. And, you know, sadness and isolation, you don't need to stay into that state, right? You can allow yourself to let it go, spread those wings. What it's also saying here is, through this process of removing our mask, sometimes we get deep into the emotions that can bring that sadness out. But it's saying to try to sit back and just observe them, as opposed to reliving them. Okay, it's okay to take them in. It's okay to release them. It's okay to take it as a learning lesson in order to, you know, help remove that mask, in order to, you know, ground ourselves, in order to look past that surface level. But what I'm also feeling here is listen, okay? Sometimes we're not listening when we get into these states. Okay, we're not listening to the actual advice that's coming through from our guides or from, you know, basically from our higher selves. You know, where we're so focused in on that sadness, or that, you know, those things that are bringing us down, that's allowing us to put that mask back on. And this card coming through, this listen card with the observe card, is saying, you know what, get past that. Listen to your higher self, listen to your inner self, allow yourself to nurture yourself. Okay, you don't need to stay into that place of sadness. This place of sadness is only supposed to bring you in for observation. Okay, is what I'm feeling. When we're removing that mask, sometimes what we do is we just look at things on we look at things, but we're diving into it. You just need to observe it. You just need to listen. You need to observe. Take it objectively. Okay, it is going to allow you to free yourself to move forward. And I am getting, Cancers, there's somebody that is trying to come into your life. Okay, I don't know if they're going to come through for May. They may possibly, or I feel like there's some sort of reconciliation for those that are, you know, in committed relationships, like a rejuvenation of that relationship, a revitalization of that relationship. But I am feeling, you know, for some of you, that literally somebody from your past, somebody who you felt that soulmate connection with, is coming forward. And in order for them to actually come through and move forward into, you know, something that is, you know, this, it says here, a great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Like this great love, I feel like you just need to allow yourself to really focus in this month. Whether they show up this month or not, I'm not sure of. I think it's all really going to depend on your progress in the process of removing this mask and letting go, and allowing yourself to really truly let yourself shine over this next little while. So what we're going to do is we're going to close this off by some messages from your messages from Spirit. So I'm just going to get those cards. Just give me 1 second here. So I truly hope that helped in regards to, you know, moving forward for the next few weeks, this next month. Okay. I'd love to hear in the comments section if this reading resonated with you. I'd also love to hear if there's readings that you would like me to look into in the future, anything that you want me to read on. I do personal readings, but they're only through my website, and the link is down below. With if you head to my store on my website, you can see the readings that I have. I do have other ones that are going to be coming up in the future. But all right, let's take a look at messages from Spirit for Cancer. Hold the space. The Hunter. See your seeds grow. Okay. All right, Cancers, these are, you know, it's funny, I actually got this for another sign earlier on, but I feel like these really portray to you as well. And what I'm getting here, you know, is with that Druid, like track down, okay, so we've got the Hunter, track down your fears. Track down your fears, Cancers. Like, this is where that mask, like, when you track down those fears, your desires, you know, you allow yourself to express them. You don't longer need the mask. You don't need to wear the mask anymore. You can take it off. You can chuck it. You won't need it, because, you know, once you've faced fear, once you face those desires even, right? Because sometimes we're facing our desires. Sometimes it's like the admitting of the desire that it is that we want that makes us put that mask back on. And once you track those down, once you face them, you don't need that mask anymore. Okay? We've got this Druid, and it's funny because he's like kind of wearing that face gear, you know? And, you know, this face paint here, and I feel like that very much has to do with the mask too. But once you track it down, you just don't need to wear it. It's no longer necessary. And it's kind of like he's going in, you know, to track down these fears and desires by wearing, you know, this get up here, you know, the face paint and, you know, the antlers and stuff. But when he emerges, you know, he no longer needs it. He's faced his fears. Okay, that's what I keep getting. It's also saying here, you know, Druid, hold the space. Hold the space for yourself. Don't get discouraged, okay? I was talking about, you know, that reconciliation, that soulmate energy. Remember that sometimes if we're not seeing it right away, it only means that we have to have faith that it's coming towards us. But sometimes there's also some, you know, things that we need to release in order to see the progress of what we've made. Okay, so sometimes things don't show up right away, but you know, we might still have a little bit more to release. We might have a little bit more to explore, to track down. But it's saying here with the spring card, see your seeds grow. So for me, what I'm already getting is plant those seeds and hold the space. Okay, so put your manifestations out there. It's like planting them. You know, give them to the universe. You know, I want this, I want that, I want this. This is what I want to see. This is what I'm going to work towards. This is what I desire. Plant them. Hold the space and let them grow. Let them grow. And in the meantime, what you can do is track down those things that, you know, you fear that you might be hanging on to. But it's also saying here is when you plant those seeds, track down those fears and desires, because you can take those desires especially and plant them. Okay, you know, like if you don't like tomatoes, you're not going to plant a tomato plant. Right? You're not going to give it the attention it deserves because you might not like tomatoes. But if you love green beans, you're gonna, you know, you're gonna water that plant, you're gonna take care of it, you're gonna allow it to grow. And that's basically the same thing. Something that you desire, you're going to allow it to grow, but you need to hold the space for it. You need to give it some space, let go of the control issue of it. That's what I feel, okay? And then when it comes through with your fears, you know, again, you know, don't plant something that you don't want. So, you know, if you're planting a fear, you know, it's not gonna be productive for, you know, what it is that you want going forward. You want to actually see progress. You want to see, you know, what it is that is going to that you desire. All right, so to close this off, what we've got here is the Two of Fire. It says you've come into your own new partnerships or contracts. Continue to move forward. So again, you know, I feel like once you guys decide what you want to do, so the Two of Fire is very much the Two of Wands. It talks about decisions, like what, you know, it's deciding what it is that you want, taking the path, you know, taking the path that you desire, and you're coming into your own. So once you choose that path and you actually decide, okay, this is what I want to do, I'm going to move forward, I'm going to jump into this, that's when you really start to see things progress. And that Chariot card comes through. It talks about accomplishment, right? You do need that self-discipline and willpower. But, you know, through this process, this is where you're going to see all of your wishes, all of your dreams start to sprout. You're going to start to see all of them blossom. I'm also getting here the Queen of Air. So this really talks about, so I love the Queen of Air. Okay, she's kind of one of my favorite queens because she's a no BS type of queen. She doesn't put up with any crap. And when it comes to that procrastination, the Queen of Swords, Queen of Swords would never, you know, she's not one to procrastinate. She just kind of goes in and goes, nope, I'm done. Doop, boop, boop. Like takes her sword and just, you know, lops the heads off of whatever it is that is no longer needed. Don't lop off any heads. But you know, so this, when it comes to that procrastination that was at the beginning, this is what I feel. This is the energy you can take on, Cancers. It's basically saying, look at, I am just clearing away what no longer serves me. Okay, you can do it with that sense of humor. It doesn't mean that you need to be, big stick in the mud, but kind of look at past situations with a little bit of humor, because when we bring humor into them, whether it's kind of giggling at yourself or maybe giggling at other people, we're taking it, we're allowing ourselves to look at it in a different light. Okay, and it might prevent that sadness that we kept seeing come through within the reading itself. But it's really saying here, now's the time. Take the month of May, really look as to what it is that you want and what it is that you desire, and let's start bringing it forward into the future. So I really truly hope that this has helped, Cancers. Thank you so much. Take care.